Have you ever felt the temptation to keep finding the next new thing, to keep attracting the men into your men's ministry? We keep looking online and Googling the new ideas for men's ministry activities, new speakers, new resources. What is the next new thing in men's ministry? And is it what you think it is? We're going to talk about that in today's Blueprint Leader Tip. We love new things in our culture. I mean, who doesn't love the smell of a new car? And as men's ministry leaders, we also love new things. We know how tough it can be to reach men, and you know how tough it can be to reach men. So anything new that we can use is always welcomed by leaders. But here's a thought to consider. New is only good if it helps to achieve the mission of seeing men be stronger disciples of Jesus. For example, I've seen churches discover a new resource on a topic, let's say pornography. Suddenly, the entire men's ministry comes to a standstill and their whole focus is all about setting men free from pornography. The problem with that thinking is only a segment of men in your church believe that they have a porn problem. So if your men's ministry is all of a sudden only about pornography, you've just told the men who don't have a porn problem that they don't belong in your men's ministry. A new resource is great as long as it's part of the overall strategy and goal of discipleship. One of the greatest dangers in ministry is to either focus exclusively on the numbers of men attending and let it drive your ministry and all the decisions you make, or conversely, go in the opposite direction and ignore those numbers completely. If you've taken our Blueprint Leadership Training, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you've never taken this training, I want to encourage you to check out our website for regular online webinars so that you can take our Blueprint Leadership Training and learn more about these tools. One thing that stands out to me when I read the Gospels is how Jesus Christ, without showing any rush in trying to accomplish his mission, he has never ever deviated from being laser focused on what God had called him to accomplish. The second thing that stands out to me when I look at how Jesus ministered to the men around him is that his goal was not numbers or popularity, but to accomplish everything that the Father had asked him to do. He used boats, he used donkeys, Roman roads, parables, stories, parties, pretty much all novelty and technologies of the time to engage with the people around him. Isn't it interesting how often Jesus challenged people who followed him by asking them this question? Why do you follow me? Do you follow me just because I feed you? Do you follow me only because you see the miracles that I do? You see, Jesus never walked into the trap of doing anything and everything to try to retain or please people. Not every new idea is inherently bad. I mean, at least I don't go around town riding my buggy and horse because I don't need a car anymore, because it's a new idea and it's bad. We are glad for innovations and technologies and new things, but we need to ask this question. What am I really going after with this new idea? Why do I need this? A new thing can be a great tool to accomplish what you're already in the course of trying to achieve with your men's ministry. A new thing can become a trap when it becomes the end goal and no longer a means to the end. If you're doing new things only to attract your men to your ministry, you might end up getting caught in a trap of coming up with new things all the time just to maintain some level of attendance. Planning your ministry like this is such a trap because you are conditioning your men to always expect something new, the latest fad, the latest celebrity, etc. Anything more than that is just pointless in their minds. And this trap can be an endless sinkhole. Let me clarify something so that you don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not advocating at all for a dull, tedious, bad food, unattractive activity for your men. That is not what I'm saying. My prayer often is not that God will give us eyes to see new things, but that God will grant us to see old things with fresh eyes. The gospel of Jesus Christ is the greatest news that has ever been proclaimed. And sometimes I'm afraid that we can easily fall into the trap of just seeking the next new method or new material or new strategy or new people and names. And all of these good things can distract us from the old message that is really the only thing that can genuinely minister to men. The gospel is the only power of God to save and to transform the lives of men. The key to avoiding any new thing from becoming a trap is to look at it through the lens of the gospel of Jesus Christ and the mission of God. The moment that something becomes a distraction from that mission, from the real mission of Jesus and the purpose of going out and making disciples, we can get caught in a trap. Maybe a good litmus test could be this. Will this new thing help me to disciple the men better, bringing them closer to Jesus? How does this new idea or new resource fit and serve us in the plan that we have to disciple the men around us? Will this help make the message of the gospel clearer, or will it distract men and us from that message?